Now it's unbelievably cheap and takes about 20 minutes to make your own fresh mozzarella. G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. I was in the grocery aisle the other day looking for some fresh mozzarella and I couldn't believe it, like a small amount like this, literally like $9, $10. And that's the home brand version. The name brand version was even more expensive. I couldn't believe it. It's actually incredibly cheap to make at home, costs almost nothing, but you can make a lot. And it's also great to give away to your friends too. So join me today as I make my version of homemade mozzarella cheese. Okay, so first of all, for preparation, we're going to start off with 1 cup of water. And I've measured out 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid. Now, it's definitely not an acid you have to worry about. It's used commonly in cooking, and it's perfect for this recipe. So we're just going to pour it into our 1 cup of water. Give it just a quick stir just to dissolve. Now at this point, if you're going to use a tablet version of rennet, you'd only need 1/4 of a tablet and you'll want to dissolve that in 1/4 cup of water. But I'm going to use liquid, so there's no point. Honestly, I prefer the liquids, just so much easier to work with. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a rather large pot here because we are going to use quite a bit of milk. Now you can use full cream milk, you can use skim milk, 2% milk, cow's milk, goat's milk, raw organic milk, or pasteurized milk. But the one milk that you can't use is UHT milk. Because it's been ultra heat treated, it just simply won't work. So you do have a lot of choice on the type of milk that you use. So I have that pot on a medium to high heat. So to that we're going to pour in 1 gallon or 3.8 litres of our milk. Now I'm saying a gallon for our American friends because I know they actually sell them in gallon bottles, so it works out perfect. But for Australia, everywhere else that uses litres, it's 3.8. Once the milk is in there, we're going to pour in our citric acid solution and just give it a good stir, just so it's all completely mixed. Now using a thermometer, preferably an instant read thermometer, we want to get this up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius. So obviously this milk's straight out of the fridge, so it's going to take about 5-10 minutes, give or take, over this medium to high heat, but we're just going to keep on stirring it until we get to that proper temperature. Okay, so as you can see, it's just reached 90 and 32, 33. So we're going to take it straight off the heat. Don't waste any time doing that, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of our rennet. Okay, now we're just going to start stirring continuously. Make sure you don't stop at this part. So just keep on stirring. And while we're stirring, we're going to count to 30. That'll give us the optimum time. So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And just stop just like that. Now, preferably, of course, if you have a proper lid, put that on. If not, I'm just going to use a plate which fits perfectly on top. And all we have to do now is let this sit here for exactly 5 minutes. So set your clock or stopwatch for 5 minutes. Now, because I'm using the element right next to where the pot is, that I had on the medium high, at this point, turn it down to a medium. So that'll give it a chance to reduce the heat. Because after this 5 minutes, once we've done a couple of things, we're going to put it back on the heat, but we want it on medium heat. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, so the milk should have roughly set like so. As you can see, it's a little bit hard, but it's supposed to be soft and silky like tofu. But it's still a little bit too soft for my liking, so I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. So just put the lid back on. I'm going to just give it another 5 minutes and it should be ready. But if it is more firmer the first time, then just go on to the next step and just skip the extra 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been a further 5 minutes. So with a sharp object, we're just going to cut out equal squares like so. So we're going to cut them to the left like that and down from the back to the front. So basically you just want that grid-like pattern. Now we're going to place it back onto our medium heat. Okay, so now we're going to warm the curds up to 105 degrees Fahrenheit or about 46 to 47 degrees Celsius. So while we're doing that, we're just going to slowly stir the curds, but don't stir them so much you're going to overly break them up. So just like so, see how they're all just going with each other? Now they will eventually clump together and separate from the whey. And while I'm doing this, don't forget to check out toddskitchen.com because I've just released some new fantastic Todd's Kitchen branded coffee mugs. So you've been asking for them and I finally delivered. So we've got a white one and a black one and I know you'll love them. So get ready to look out for some more future in a mug recipes using my own personalized Todd's Kitchen mug. Okay, so as you can see we're almost there, just a couple of degrees off. Now I'm going on Fahrenheit here at the moment. So we're almost there. So we're at 39°C, 103 Fahrenheit. Now it won't clump together in one big lump, of course. That's not exactly what I was after, but okay, so it's just hit 105, which is 40.8 degrees Celsius. So at this point, we're going to take it straight off the heat because it's done cooking. So we're just going to stir this for a further 5 minutes. So if you've got a phone, just set a countdown for 5 minutes. It goes past pretty fast and it's still quicker than going up to the shops to buy some. And I'll tell you what, a lot cheaper too. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. So now I'm going to use a slotted spoon, basically one that you can drain all the extra whey out of. And we're just going to basically just start collecting our curds and place them into a microwave safe bowl. Okay, so look at that, that's your mozzarella curds. So just keep on doing this till you get as much as you can out. Okay, so we're going to place this into the microwave on high for exactly 1 minute, and then that'll help us drain off all the excess whey. Okay, so just got a colander here just in case, so we're just going to use that to just drain off all the rest of that whey. Makes life easier using one of these. And then just put this back in the bowl. Okay, so to keep things clean, I'm going to use a rubber glove, and basically we're just going to try and fold them over each other. Okay, so once they really do start to feel like that cottage cheese type feel, which is, as you can see, it's pretty much looking like cottage cheese right now. So we're going to place this back into the microwave now. I'm going to drain out the rest of the whey, of course. I'm going to place this back into the microwave for 30 seconds at a time. You may only need once, or you may need twice or 3 times, really varies. And we want to get an internal temperature of 57 degrees Celsius or 135 degrees Fahrenheit. So microwave every 30 seconds until we reach that exact internal temperature. Okay, so I've taken our cheese out of the microwave. Now I did mine for about 45 seconds because after 30 seconds it only had a few more degrees to go, so it didn't take long. So if you're pretty close, you don't have to do a full 30 seconds like I originally said. You can do it for 30 seconds, then if you're very close, say 10 seconds. It depends on the power of your microwave and how long it's been out. So I'm just going to sprinkle on a little bit of salt, and we're just going to work that salt in with our fingers. That's going to be warm, of course. At 135 degrees Fahrenheit, you'd expect it to be, so just be careful. Okay, so once it's been worked in, I'm just going to just quickly drain out the rest of this liquid. Okay, so now it's very basic. We're going to stretch it out, fold it in on itself, stretch it out, fold it in, stretch it out, fold it in. It actually gets tighter and tighter. You can really feel it. It's kind of like kneading, but sort of different. And you can really feel how hard it's actually getting right now. Just doing it like this, actually takes a bit of strength. But I really do love making my own cheese. I can't remember the last time I actually brought mozzarella cheese. Okay, so that's pretty much as you're going to get it, like that. Now as you can see, it gets like that shiny sort of look to it like that. Now it's probably maybe hard to see with the camera, but it is on the parts where it's nice and flat. So you get like a shiny look just like that. That means it's ready, and that's it. It's really that simple. So now it's up to you what you want to do. You can use the whole thing at once. Say you want to use it on a pizza, you can break it up or stretch it out more and do whatever you like. But what I like to do is I like to make a batch, and like I have the occasional pizza, so I'm going to break it into a few lots like that. Now this mozzarella can be used immediately, but if you're going to keep it like that, you'll want to definitely save the whey that was being removed from this mozzarella. I have other plans, that's why I didn't bother saving it. So we're going to keep it soaking in that whey with just a bit of salt mixed in with the whey as well. And that'll keep it in the fridge for say up to a week. Now if you want to store it long term in the freezer, this is how I personally like to do it. By using one of these food vacuum bags which sucks up all the air to keep it nice and fresh, lasting so much longer. So as you can see, you just turn it on, it takes out all the air from the bag and self-seals. And there we have a nicely sealed and airtight container to keep our mozzarella. And this will last so much longer, and it's going to be so beneficial. Now the only difference of using frozen versus fresh mozzarella, when it's thawed out of course, it's not as stretchy as the fresh mozzarella, but that also means it's perfect for grating to put onto a pizza. That's why when I make mozzarella, I like to make a little bit extra, so I've always got some in the freezer ready to go, so I can use it on a fresh pizza, so I can just grate it straight on, and it's perfect. Now whether you have it fresh on whatever recipe that you like, be it with some chicken or pizza, or you freeze it up and shred it later on, either way it's going to taste simply delish.